somewhere in those first 8 episodes, they wrote a scenario where George got into a situation which I thought was completely unlikely, and then reacted to it in a way that I thought was for writing purposes only, because no human being would do this. And I went to Larry after the table read, and I said, Larry, please help me. First of all, this wouldn't happen to anybody, but if it did, no one would react like this. And Larry looked at me and went, what are you talking about? This happened to me? This is exactly what I did. And that was when the bell went off in my head, and I went, oh, jeez. He's George. He's George. He's writing George. That's when I got introduced to the Larry David notebooks, where almost everything, some element of every story we did on Seinfeld came out of something that happened to him. And that's when Woody Allen went away, and I started to laser focus on what makes Larry Larry. That for him, he is constantly weighing whether someone has just attacked him or diminished him. So first he has to weigh that, and then he has to weigh whether or not a response is worthwhile. The other thing about Larry that was so remarkable to me, I'd never seen anybody balance these things, was Larry carried, I don't know if he still does, but carried both an incredible sense of worthlessness, that he was just a horrible, useless, untalented, unattractive human being, alongside the most overinflated ego, that everything he said and did was of the utmost importance and significance and value, and that everything else was diminished in comparison. But those two things were side by side in the same package. So he could be declarative and abrasive in 1 second and then turn around and go, too much? I'm an idiot.
Someone just put a monitor on the skybox.
Hey, George, the ocean called. They're running out of shrimp.
The ocean called. Running out of shrimp. Shrimp. Oh! Yes! That's what I should have said! Damn it!
George, unfortunately, Clarence Eldridge in 8C has decided that he wants the apartment.
Yeah, but you promised it to me.
Yes, but you see, Mr. Eldridge is an Andrea Doria survivor. And in light of the terrible suffering that he's already been through, we've decided to give it to him.
Well,
Hey, how's the new place?
gone. The tenant association made me give it to this guy because he was an Andrea Doria survivor.
The Andrea Doria collided with a Stockholm in dense fog 12 miles off the coast of Nantucket.
How do you know?
It's in my book, Astonishing Tales of the Sea. 51 people died.
51 people? Mm-hmm. That's it? I thought it was like 1,000.
1,660 survivors.
That's no tragedy. How many people do you lose on a normal cruise? 30, 40? Clarence, how about abandoning this apartment and letting me shove off in this beauty?
Is that what this is all about? I don't think I like you.
It's my apartment, Eldridge. Stockholm may not have sunk you, but I will.
He doesn't deserve it, though. Even if he did suffer, that was like 40 years ago. What have you done for me lately? I've been suffering for the past 30 years, up to and including yesterday.
You know, if this tenant board is so impressed with suffering, maybe you should tell them the astonishing tales of Costanza.
I should.
I mean, your body of work in this field is unparalleled.
I could go bummer to bummer with anyone on this planet.
You're the man.
I was handcuffed to the bed in my underwear, where I remained, for she certainly seemed interested in me. Though she was attractive, she was also, in fact, a Nazi. The water I had been swimming in was very cold. And when I dropped the towel, there had been significant shrinkage. My parents were looking at me. So there I was. with a marble rye hanging from the end of a fishing pole. In closing, these stories have not been embellished because they need no embellishment. They are simply, horrifyingly, the story of my life as a short, stocky, slow-witted, bald man. Thank you. Oh, also, my fiancée died from licking toxic envelopes that I picked out. Thanks again.